Boy, I am really excited to introduce you to Diana Grippo. Her book, Bipolar Chronicles, From Crazed to Content. And it is like content, actually, because the content of what her life has been about and what I think is so powerful that she's going to share with you. You need to read this book. People are out there that are undiagnosed. People are out there who are diagnosed and don't feel like they have a friend or what they need to do or that they can get through it. And she's gotten through it. And we're going to tell her story. Diana, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate. It's great to be here.
So in doing this book, was it kind of cathartic for you? Why'd you do the book?
You know what? It was very cathartic. Yes. I had notes written along through the years. And then during the pandemic, I worked from home and I was able to finish it. And that was very satisfying. And my parents are really happy about it. And so, yeah, I feel good about it.
So let's go to the beginning of your journey. How did this all happen? How did you know when you were bipolar? What happened? How were you diagnosed?
Well, what happened is that I wasn't properly diagnosed for a while and I didn't know what was happening. I was hearing voices and I couldn't sleep to save my life. And I was confused and ended up living on the streets. I didn't want my parents to see me that way and I didn't know what to do. And I was so confused. So I was on the streets and then I went in and out of hospitals and they didn't properly diagnose me for a while. But then after a few years, they did diagnose me as bipolar and I was given lithium and got stable on lithium. And I don't know about other people, but for me, I do need to be on medication and therapy is very helpful as well.
So the different kinds of therapies that work, what's really worked for you? How do you calm yourself? How do you get through an episode if you have like a manic episode?
Right. Well, dialectical behavior therapy, which was developed by Marsha Linehan, is really helpful. It stresses things like mindfulness and opposite action. When you're manic, you have a decreased need for sleep. And so for me, I do need to take something like a Seroquel. It's a medication for bipolar disorder to help me sleep when I'm manic because I can't sleep just to save my life. It's really hard. And so medication really does help. And therapy, mindfulness is very helpful. Opposite action when you're depressed, things like reaching out when you feel like isolating or exercising when you feel like lying in bed are very helpful.
I like that. You just have certainly given a lot of the listeners out there some helpful hints and techniques and things that they can do. In this story, you're very honest. I love that. It's so authentic what you talk about in your book. And again, the title is Bipolar Chronicles, From Crazed to Content. So the title tells it all. How do you go from crazed to content? Some of the things I'm sure that you just told us.
Right. Well, medication can definitely help. And for me, I do need medication. I think it's very difficult to get stable without medication. And therapy is really helpful. Exercising, eating right, getting enough sleep. Sleep deprivation is a big no-no. It can induce a manic episode. So you really want to be careful about your sleep.
Yeah, and sleep is so important for everybody. We definitely know that. When people pick up your book, what do you hope they take away from reading it?
Hope. I hope they become hopeful. And it's a very treatable disorder, and you can get better and you can live a productive life. I work for Apple. I've been there 9 years and I love it. And it's been really helpful that I have a company that's supportive. I did get manic last year and I was able to go into the hospital and get stable and go on a paid leave from Apple. And so bless Apple.
Boy, no kidding. And I was going to ask you that because a lot of people out there, when you say, there is hope, it's good to know that there's hope. And one of the things that a lot of people who are bipolar struggle with is working. How do you work? How do you find that right company that'll be supportive of, hey, I need a few days off? And you certainly found it. And you worked before that too.
Yes, I was a high school teacher for many years and I taught. And the difficult thing there was when I became manic, I would have to leave and find another job. And so that was difficult. I got out of teaching primarily because of that. It was really hard when I had a manic episode to have to search for another job.
I bet. But once you get connected, like you said, you love your job at Apple, you've been there almost a decade. They understand, right? They're understanding of the condition and they know that you can come back and work twice as hard or do what you need to do.
Oh, yes, they're very understanding. I work with wonderful people. Yes.
And tell us what you do at Apple.
I'm in sales. So I sell computers and iPhones and I teach people how to use them. And I'm also a mentor to new hires so that when new hires come, I teach them how to do the job. And it's been very satisfying.
Oh boy, I bet. Did you ever think when you started on this journey of unraveling medicines and what you needed to do that you would end up writing a book?
Well, I always wanted to write about it. I had taken notes through the years. I just didn't know how I was going to finish it. And so, the pandemic has been so unfortunate for so many reasons. I mean, tragic. But for me, it actually was helpful to be able to work from home and then able to write at night and finish it. So
I bet.
Yeah.
And for your parents, how proud are they of you?
Oh, they're very proud of me. I'm really close with my parents. I see them often. They live nearby and we're very close.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a terrific book, and this is something that so many people could use. And when you look at the book and what you've written in the book, and you gave us some of the techniques, what else do you talk about in Bipolar Chronicles from Craze to Content?
Well, for me, something that's been really helpful is a spiritual path. And I am sober. I use the 12 steps for sobriety, and the 12 steps can be used for depression as well. It's a very spiritual program, and you can get a lot out of a spiritual path, just something greater than yourself. It really helps to believe in when you have some sort of disorder to give you hope.
Yeah, absolutely. We come back to the word hope again, hashtag hope. There is hope. Bipolar Chronicles from Craze to Content. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold. Diana Grippo, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate. It's been wonderful talking with you.